You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the 4th of July is almost here, and while some people enjoy them, others don't. We'll be talking about fireworks. Our very own Fernanda Silva helps us learn how veterans handle PTSD and the sounds that fireworks give off.
And the family of a murder victim says the Neosho County District Attorney should not prosecute because of a conflict of interest. We explain.
And we've got ourselves alert days now through Friday for dangerous heat out there. Temperatures rising after our morning storms. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
All right, well, fireworks. It's a big deal.
That is something we'll be talking about. It is now 7 o'clock, though, on this Wednesday morning. We want to thank you for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We got a lot of weather to talk about as well. Thankfully, the storm's on their way out, but we got a lot of heat on the way. We're going to talk more about that forecast in just a moment, but first, fireworks and PTSD, something pretty serious to talk about.
That's right. Tuesday marked Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Day.
Now with the 4th of July right around the corner, veterans who suffer from PTSD start getting anxious for the holiday as those fireworks can trigger the disorder. Fernanda Silva has the story.
Stanley Walker was 21 years old when he served in Vietnam. More than 50 years later, he relieves the bad memories from the war every Independence Day.
4th of July is much like a firefight. There's the explosions, there's the colors, there's the voices, there's the smells, there's a lot of trauma that comes back up that you don't deal with throughout the year.
But even though Stanley still deals with the consequences of PTSD every 4th of July, he says the years made it easier.
I just wanted to run away screaming. I just wanted to get out, go somewhere. I wanted to hide, find a hole and crawl into it. For me, it's gotten better. For some people, I know it will never get better. They will die with it, or they will die from it, die because of it.
But Stanley is far from alone. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, PTSD is slightly more common among veterans than civilians. About 7% of those who served will deal with the condition at some point in their lives.
I go to my back bedroom, I turn the TV up as loud as I can, and that's where I stay the whole night. I'm back to where I was, and the friends I've lost. I can actually sometimes see faces of my buddies, and that's really hard.
The only thing missing in the fireworks is people screaming for help.
Military liaison at Ozark Center, Roger recommends veterans to integrate with others who have a similar story and to ask for help if needed. He also has an advice for those interacting with veterans, especially those coping with PTSD on Independence Day.
Be the good neighbor. Be the good family member. If you know a veteran, most of us know at least a veteran. Be understanding, don't be judgmental. Understand what they're going through. Try to keep that in mind.
Go ahead and shoot your fireworks. You're celebrating the freedom of the people of the United States and the founding of the country. We'll deal with ourselves. But if you got a vet next door to you and you've got the big fireworks you're going to shoot off, please find somewhere else to go shoot those off.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Well, for veterans coping with PTSD on the 4th of July, specialists recommend repeating simple reminders, like saying something like this: "This is not a combat zone," as saying things like that can help reset the brain during a PTSD trigger.
It's absolutely essential to keep that in mind, and some people don't really realize that can have that kind of impact on folks who have served overseas or have served in some of the wars that we've been in over the last several decades. That fireworks sound very similar, especially the bigger ones, to conditions they experienced.
And it's all about being respectful. If you don't know if your neighbor is a veteran, if you're new to your neighborhood, this is a good way to get to know them.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Just go talk to them.
Go meet them.
Well, you may want to do that talking via telephone or social media, because going outdoors, it's going to be dangerously hot. We've got alert days kicking in today through Friday. We got temperatures pushing into the 100s, heat index values potentially as high as 110 out there. We've still got some stray showers across the region. Nothing serious, nothing heavy. We're not anticipating anything serious or heavy, but these showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, will continue as the rest of this activity pushes on off to our east. We do have the heat advisory for parts of southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri through Friday at 7. The rest of southeast Kansas and into northeast Oklahoma, this advisory runs until 9 o'clock tonight, but will very likely be reissued tomorrow. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. It's still looking cloudy out there, but the roads are drying, and roads beginning to dry on the KDOT camera at 69 and East 5 20th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. And from our camera at 7th and range line, still got those mostly cloudy skies, but if you look, there's some blue, and we will start to clear out. We're sitting at 70 in Joplin. Breeze is now switched out of the southwest at 3, and around the area, we've got a pretty decent start. We've got 71 Nevada, 69 in Pittsburgh, 73 Neodesha, Chanute, Independence, Chatopa, 72 Miami, and 71 in Neosho. And as we get our morning started, we'll be mostly cloudy. Again, a few isolated showers out there, but hot. We're going to make it to 90 by the late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, highs pushing 99 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Some of us may even reach the lower 100s. We'll have more on your complete forecast and how the 4th of July is looking in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. The family of a Parsons area murder victim says the Neosho County District Attorney should not prosecute the suspect due to a conflict of interest. And we brought you the story of Dakota Patton when he went missing back in April and when his body was found in early May. Clint and Kimberly Nybarger were arrested on May 8th for the murder of Patton and are now awaiting trial. On Tuesday, Dakota's family spoke out about how this case is proceeding. And the county prosecutor, Linus Thuston, who they say has no business leading the case.
Yeah, you know, Linus has represented Clint for sure multiple times. In the affidavit, it says he represented him on a DUI, fleeing and eluding, open container. You know, Clint's paid Linus money before, you know, so. And when they found, or when they arrested Clint, Linus's contact number was in Clint's phone.
The prosecutor declined KOM's request for a comment. Pineville, Missouri woman who was previously indicted for the kidnapping and murder of a pregnant Arkansas woman now faces an additional charge of killing the victim's unborn child. In November, 43-year-old Amber Waterman was accused of taking Ashley Bush from Maysville, Arkansas to Pineville because Waterman wanted to claim Bush's unborn child as her own. The original indictment alleges the kidnapping resulted in Bush's death. Tuesday's superseding indictment also alleges in a new count that Amber Waterman caused the death of a child in utero. Now, authorities discovered the burned remains of the mother on Waterman's property. The baby was found with Amber Waterman and her husband, Jamie Waterman. The baby was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Both Watermans remain in custody. The indictment alleges Jamie Waterman tried to help his wife hide the crime and elude authorities. One of 2 men accused in the death of a Dallas County, Missouri woman enters a guilty plea. On Tuesday, Timothy Norton pleaded guilty to first-degree murder for the 2021 murder of Cassidy Rainwater. A judge has now sentenced him to life in prison without parole. A judge earlier this year gave Norton's co-defendant, James Phelps, the same sentence after he entered an Alford plea to similar charges. Cassidy Rainwater was reported missing in 2021. FBI investigators say they received photos from an anonymous source showing Rainwater in a cage. Investigators later found photos of Rainwater on Phelps's phone and eventually discovered Rainwater's skeletal remains. Well, coming up, Julie Reams from the Carthage Chamber of Commerce is stopping by to tell us about an upcoming 4th of July event that you don't want to miss out on.
And did you know women are more likely to go to the doctor than men? Well, why that needs to change. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, it could be time to schedule a checkup. With June designated as Men's Health Month, doctors are urging more guys to be proactive about their well-being, especially as data reveals men are not as likely as women to visit their doctors. Fox News' Gary Baumgarten takes a closer look.
If you're feeling under the weather, your gender could influence your decision to seek medical help. According to the CDC, men are 33% less likely than women to visit the doctor's office.
Take a couple of big breaths.
But with June being Men's Health Month, medical professionals are encouraging men to take more control over their bodies.
It's important to visit your healthcare provider regularly, even if you're healthy. One is to screen for medical issues, assess your risks for future medical problems.
The CDC says the leading causes of death for men of all races include heart disease and cancer, but doctors say your age plays a huge role in what health issues you should be screened for.
Men between the ages of 18 and 39 should have their blood pressure checked by a healthcare provider every 3 to 5 years. Cholesterol screening should start at the age of 20. Diabetes screenings typically start at the age of 35. Men between the ages of 40 and 64 should really get regular health screenings, such as blood pressure should be done every year. It's really important to start colorectal screenings at the age of 45.
Research from Rutgers University finds men who subscribe to the values of traditional masculinity are often less likely to go to the doctor. Many health experts say it's critical men abandon macho attitudes and talk to their doctors if they notice a change in their health.
It's easier to be proactive than reactive.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
We've got an alert day, or alert days rather, starting today through Friday for that dangerous heat out there. We're talking temperatures in the low hundreds out there, maybe the mid hundreds, and heat index values could push up to 110 degrees. Now, the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we're showing you because even though our main thunderstorm complex overnight is long gone, it did leave some residual showers out there, and we could even have a rumble of thunder or two, but we're not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms out there, but a few extra showers are possible. What we are anticipating though is the dangerous heat. We have heat advisories for Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in southeast Kansas, the rest of southwest Missouri until 7 this Friday evening rather, and then for the rest of SEK and into northeast Oklahoma, we're talking heat advisories until 9 tonight, but I would not be surprised if they return tomorrow. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking good so far, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th Avenue. We got the daylight, we just have cloud cover still out there. We've got some clearing, but we're still sitting under mostly cloudy skies. 70 degrees in Joplin right now, southwest breeze at 3, and as we look at temperatures around the region, not a bad start, but it's going to be a very hot day today. 69 in Pittsburgh, 73 Chanute, Neodesha, and Chatopa, 72 in Miami, 71 Neosho, a little cooler Carthage down to 69 right now. As we get our morning started, we're going to have those mostly cloudy skies, a few isolated showers, but we heat up quickly. Clouds don't matter at this point. It's a hot summer day, 90 by 11. Highs today right around 99 degrees. Some of us could make it into the lower 100s. We're going to be partly cloudy as we head into the afternoon. And as such, our UV index up there once again, very high at a 10. Puts your burn time at about 20 minutes. So you need to make sure that you are taking appropriate precautions and that you're also staying hydrated because heat index values, again, pushing close to 110 for some days this week. Hot through the evening, 98 at 6, 96 at 8, 84 by 10 o'clock. It's going to be very toasty, and we're staying mild overnight, partly cloudy, lows back into the mid-70s. So we get the alert days again through Friday. Look at these temperatures. I know you don't want to, but we've got to be prepared as we go into the lower to even mid-100s. Heat index values pushing close to 110. A little relief for us on Saturday. Maybe some pop-up storms, lower 90s Saturday and Sunday. Then we head into next week, and at least to kick off the next week, we're going to start mid to upper 90s, including the 4th of July, so very hot. Make sure you're staying hydrated. But also be prepared for an occasional pop-up storm. These are just going to be widely scattered. They're not going to rain out your entire plans, but if you set your fireworks out early, you might need to cover them up for just a moment if you do get under one of those stray showers. After that, though, we cool back a little bit and hold on to those pop-up storm chances to wrap up the next work week. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. And did you know there's a romantic story in plain sight in New York City? Well, stick with us and we'll share what that love story is. We'll be right back.
Back. We've got Julie Reams in studio this morning from the Carthage Chamber of Commerce. And if you're looking for a fun event, a fun place to go to celebrate the 4th of July, we've got it for you in Carthage.
Absolutely. On Tuesday, you can start your day with us at 7 a.m. and run a 5K and end it with an amazing, huge 4th of July, beautiful display that will be at our Carthage Municipal Park.
All right, let's run through some of the events that are going to be happening throughout the day.
Well, like I said, at 7 a.m. we start with a 5K that the cross country there at Carthage R9 Schools puts on. And then at 12 o'clock, our food vendors will start coming in and setting up. We have about 15 different vendors coming to serve food, and that starts, really the activities in the park starts at 2. But at noon, we are offering a free community swim thanks to our partners with the Fair Acres Family YMCA, which huge partners with us, and we couldn't do it. And that goes on from 12 to 8 p.m. And we have the Kittyland, the Kiwanis Kittyland free rides all day long. I think they start about 2. And Jelly Ball Guy, we have a ninja course, we have lots of different vendors that will be there celebrating the 4th of July and really having a lot of fun.
And you said karaoke too.
Yes, beginning at 4 o'clock, we are having karaoke on the stage, which will take us into at 7 o'clock. We will have live music, Out for a Ride, which is a local band that we're very, very happy that they could spend the time with us. And then leading up at 9:30 is our fireworks.
That's a lot.
It really is a lot.
Is everything centrally located, or?
Yes, we from the pool house on down through our park is all the activities. We have foam cannons starting at 3 o'clock, and that will be going on from 3 to 6. So come out, bring your swimsuits. It's going to be hot, so
yes.
Cool off. You can be in the pool, then come play in the foam cannons, and really have a lot of fun. Like I said, lots of food, all of this.
Watermelon.
Oh yes, watermelon. How could I forget? We had a whole car full of watermelons last year. At 5 o'clock is a free watermelon feed that will be iced cold. We even will have them in a swimming pool that is there full of ice and ready to be served until they're all gone. And we couldn't do it without all of our amazing sponsors. We have great sponsors like H.E. Williams. Midwest Ag has provided the watermelons for this year. We have Roscoe's Bar and Grill. The list just goes on. And they can find everything on our website at carthagechamber.com.
You answered my next question.
Yes.
So just go to carthagechamber.com and you can find a link to that and this interview on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Thank you so much for coming this morning, Julie.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Well, Pride Month is a time in which many people show their colors, but history shows that LGBTQ artists have long found a way to express themselves, even if not all viewers realized it.
Bradley Blackburn has a remarkable love story on display in the middle of New York's Central Park.
Even if you've never been to Central Park, never walked by Bethesda Fountain, you probably know the angel watching over it all.
It's gorgeous, absolutely stunning.
But few tourists or even New Yorkers
who was the sculptor
know about the woman who created her more than 150 years ago. In the 1860s, artist Emma Stebbins was commissioned to create the Angel of the Waters. Stebbins, a native New Yorker, was living in Rome at the time with her female partner, a world-famous actress named Charlotte Cushman.
They fell in love and they lived together for the rest of Cushman's life. She eventually died of breast cancer, and Stebbins cared for her.
Amanda Davis is an architectural historian with the NYC LGBT Historic Sites Project. She knows this statue well. She even helped clean it as a Central Park intern.
Sometimes we interpret an LGBTQ artist's work without that part of their identity, so we can often misread the messaging that they're giving us. It's hidden in plain sight.
The 8-foot bronze angel pays tribute to the city's system of clean drinking water, but it was also meant to be about love. With speculation, Stebbins' partner was the model. The statue has starred in countless movies, Over the Shoulder of the Avengers, Smiling Down on One Fine Day. and part of an enchanted showstopper.
Can't get more visible than this. I mean, this is something to be proud of.
A famous New Yorker and an icon of pride.
Are you glad to know that bit of history?
Yeah, I am.
Many are just now seeing. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, the Angel has plenty of in-person admirers too. Some 40 million people visit Central Park every year.
That's far more than visit Disneyland or the Louvre in Paris.
Impressive turnout for sure.
I didn't know that history either. So
Yeah.
we learn something every morning.
Every morning.
Well, the city of Joplin is asking its residents, businesses, and property owners to help them with a homeless survey. We'll have the details.
And we've been talking about that dangerous heat across the area. We'll have more on that, our alert days, and the showers still lingering this morning when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. Carthage City Council votes to increase electric rates by an average of $18 per month, but it was apparently a different utility issue that drew more than 250 people to Tuesday's council meeting. The council decided to stick with a previous decision to remove the appointed members of the Carthage Water and Electric Board. The council had originally made the decision earlier this month after saying board members were not fulfilling their duties. And when the crowd was asked how many people wanted the board to stay, an overwhelming majority raised their hands. A lot of citizens attending last night's meeting were vocal in their support for the board. Still, the council voted 6-4 to stand by its decision.
I'm sure there are still people that are unhappy, and that's not a good thing. But we will continue to try to work through this and return to the being able to work together well, and I feel like we will do that.
A number of citizens left the meeting immediately after the vote. The council had previously said it would appoint new board members as soon as possible. Joplin city officials urge residents to check on their family members, neighbors, friends, and pets as the heat index rises to dangerous levels. Public areas in the city will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. as potential cooling centers. And those are the Joplin Athletic Center, City Hall, Health Department, and the Public Safety Center. However, guidelines must be followed, such as staying within designated areas and respecting others' space. Officials say it's important to stay hydrated, dress appropriately, and minimize direct sun exposure during heat waves. And don't forget your pets. They want pet owners to ensure their pets have access to shade and cool water. Well, the city of Joplin is asking for your help with a survey related to homelessness in the community. Any residents, business, or property owners are invited to participate in the online survey as the city gathers information about existing offerings and gaps in services for the homeless. Eventually, city leaders hope to use that information to develop plans for addressing the problem. You'll find a QR code linking you to the survey at KOAMnewsnow.com. The survey will be open through July 14th.
All right, we wanted to touch on some power outage reports that we're starting to get. So we've been looking at Liberty Utilities. They've got 720 folks without power in the Neosho area. And from Evergy Utilities, they are reporting around just under 1,000 folks without power in the Nevada area. So just a heads up, as we start to warm up through the morning, hopefully these utility crews, they've got a lot of work to do and they can get that power restored quickly, but it's going to get hot fast, so do be prepared for that. Quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Still some scattered showers out there across the area. Heat advisories, Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in Kansas and southwest Missouri through Friday at 7, and the rest of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma until 9. We've got those alert days because of the heat, so I'm going to just get right to what we're expecting today. So let's dive right in. We're going to go up to 90 by late morning, mostly cloudy skies, and maybe a few isolated showers out there. By the afternoon, we are going partly cloudy, highs pushing 99 degrees. Some of us, especially out west, could even reach the lower 100s. So again, if your power's out, utility crews are working hard. I know they are, but be prepared to find an alternate way to kind of cool down until that comes back on. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. So we're hosting a flag swap today from 11 until 2 at an Arvest Bank in Joplin. It'll be at the location at 2023 East 32nd Street. All you have to do is bring in your old tattered American flag and get a brand new American-made flag for free. The American Legion is assisting us in properly retiring those traded-in flags. This is the second flag swap that we are hosting. You can find information about others, KOAMnewsnow.com/flag. A Joplin car dealership donates the gift of warmth. Frank Fletcher Subaru donated 70 blankets to the Freeman Cornell Bashore Cancer Institute for patients. The fluids used for chemotherapy are cold and can leave the body weak and unable to produce enough heat on its own. And officials say these blankets go a long way to making cancer treatment a little less uncomfortable.
You know, typically in hospital environments and clinic environments it can be very cold and very uncomfortable. And so to get to have a blanket to offer to a patient who's already going through a very difficult time in their lives is just priceless.
Cancer Institute is located at Freeman Hospital West. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, it's time for some delicious homemade pies. So come on down and we'll tell you all about it. Or really, Kathy Cowley and Debbie Van Winkle will, as they represent Byers Avenue United Methodist Church and the annual pie sale.
And as we've mentioned, we've got alert days now through Friday, and that is because of dangerous heat kicking off today through the end of the week. Taking another look at that forecast and how the 4th of July looks when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Welcome back. I've got the ladies from the Byers United Methodist Church joining us here this morning, here to talk about your annual pie sale. So excited, Debbie and Kathy here. What kind of pies did you bring us in this morning?
This one's coconut meringue. This one's French silk, which is a chocolate mousse type with whipped cream.
This one's cold, and this one just came out of the oven.
I can smell it, and I just felt the pan. It looked great. Now, this is just two examples of some of the pies that you can get during your annual pie sale. And you've been doing this for years.
Oh, yes.
About 30.
Yeah.
About 30 years now. Yep.
I know you've been coming on the morning show for at least 15, so we appreciate it.
Yep. Almost 1,000 pies almost every year. So
wow.
It's done well. Yeah.
Wow. So what do you guys use the money for that you raise for the pies?
We use it for area missions. So it goes to different things that are close to our hearts, like God's Resort. I call it Life Choices, but it's Crisis Pregnancy Center. You know, that's one of them that does it. What's
Water Gardens?
Water Gardens, yeah. Cross Lines. We
yes,
just kind of different. We kind of divvy it out, and just give the money out after we pay for the ingredients and those sort of things. And of course, our time's free.
Well, and I mean, you guys have been making them especially. But how many volunteers do you have that help you out with the pies?
We have about 10 to 12, depending on the day.
So that's a lot of pies.
Yeah, yes. We start ahead of time, though. We've been making frozen cherry and frozen apple pies for the last several weeks. And so we get them done and in the freezer, and that way we have that done. Because that takes a bit to peel all those apples, and I would say go pick all the cherries, but we don't pick them. We just get them frozen, and then,
we make the filling,
yeah,
though.
They're the tart
no
cherries.
Canned stuff comes out of our kitchen.
Yeah.
All homemade pies.
Yes. From the crust up, yeah.
So what are some of the options for pies that you can get?
So the other kinds that we have is butterscotch meringue, chocolate meringue, banana and lemon meringue, and they can be meringue pies like this, or they can be whipped topping like this. This is the French silk, and then we have pumpkin, peanut butter, pecan, French silk, and then chocolate cream also, and then the fruit pies, the apple and the cherry. And we also have sugar-free pies, so that's handy too. The sugar-free pies are apple, chocolate, lemon, and coconut that they can choose.
Is there a place where someone can go to find all of the information and place orders?
Yes.
Yes. On our website, it's ByersAv.umc.org.
Right. And they'll be, hey, it's pie time on there.
Yes,
and of course, it's super simple.
And we will place a link to that on our website with this interview as well.
Yes.
When do sales start, and when can people start picking up pies?
Sales start on Saturday, July 1st. And on the website, there's also, it says the pickup time. I think Saturday is 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And then we do Monday and Tuesday. We're off on Sunday. We rest.
There you go.
Kind of.
And Tuesday's the 4th, so
Yes,
so you
yes,
have
yes.
options to have pies at
Yes.
all of your 4th of
Big
July
and little.
celebrations.
We have littles too.
Yeah, the minis, and these are the big ones. Yeah, I have a mini,
You're
like a
supporting
chicken pot pie size, that size. Yeah.
Several good causes
Yes.
as well.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
thank you once again for
Thank
coming in
you.
this year.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Mhm.
Until next time.
Okay, okay.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Wednesday morning. Still have some scattered showers across the area. May even get a rumble of thunder or two, but the good news is our severe threat is done. However, our heat threat is just beginning. We have the heat advisories for Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in southeast Kansas and the rest of southwest Missouri until Friday at 7, and then the rest of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma until tonight at 9. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if those reappear tomorrow as well. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looks good so far. We're still pretty cloudy out there, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue south of Pittsburgh. And here's another view of those clouds from our camera at 7th and range line. Behind the current conditions box is a little bit of blue sky out there, and these skies will continue to clear. We're sitting at 70 in Joplin right now, southwest breeze at about 3. Around the region, temperature's not too bad. Some of us, though, as the clouds break up a little more to the west, starting to warm up. We got 77 in Independence, 76 Veneta, 75 Miami, 76 in Chautauqua, 73 in Chanute, 72 in Pittsburgh, 70 in Joplin and Neosho. And as we look for the start of our day, we got those mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers, temperatures right around 90 degrees by late morning. Highs today, 99 degrees, maybe even some lower 100s out there. So do make sure you're taking precautions and staying hydrated. That's a quick look at your forecast. Now we're going to send it over to Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
Well, already hundreds of flights have been canceled today in the U.S., and that's according to the website FlightAware. Severe weather has snarled travel plans for thousands at the nation's airports, with one major airline pointing the finger at the Federal Aviation Administration. Jared Hill has more from New York.
The Providence High School singers practiced and stretched to kill time while stranded at LAX. Their connecting flight to Newark was canceled, though they've been rebooked on new flights to get to their choir tour in Ireland.
We've all been really patient, thankfully, and we've been trying to make the best out of this.
Similar scenes played out in airports across the Northeast since the weekend, with severe storms stranding thousands. According to the flight tracking website FlightAware, more than 2,000 flights were canceled yesterday in the U.S., and another 7,000 delayed.
We sat on the tarmac for 4 hours. And then got here. We were able to get a rental car, but we waited for like 3.5 hours.
United Airlines says 150,000 of its customers have been affected. In a message to employees, the company's CEO slammed the Federal Aviation Administration's decision to cancel flights in the Newark region, claiming the severe weather is something the FAA has historically been able to manage. The FAA has recently struggled with a shortage of air traffic controllers.
The FAA is speaking to this and stands ready to work with companies to address any issues they're facing.
This all comes as AAA predicts record-breaking travel volume over the long 4th of July weekend, with more than 4 million Americans expected to fly to their destinations. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Another issue that could come into play over the next few hours is air quality. The National Weather Service is warning that more smoke from the Canadian wildfires will likely move into the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic today. Swiss air quality technology company IQ Air ranked Chicago as having the worst air quality in the world yesterday due to the wildfire smoke. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. If only push-ups could win presidential debates. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is running for the 2024 Democratic presidential nomination,
is bench pressing for the presidency in this new video. Jeannie Moose has the story.
Who knew that under that sedate suit and tie exists a body even Rocky would admire? Though Robert F. Kennedy Jr. didn't do one-handed push-ups.
Let's go.
The workout he posted was captioned, "Getting in shape for my debates with President Biden." Though no such debates or even push-up contests are yet in the works, A fitness coach also posted a video showing RFK Jr. bench pressing.
Up, 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 up.
The number of views has soared up into the millions. Wow, dude is jacked.
Mr. Kennedy looks pretty ripped.
Sure, he was mocked from his outfit, but in skinny jeans to the size of the weights. My 12-year-old lifts more than that. But the coach spotting for RFK Jr. explained it was his last set of reps, that he started with heavier weights and ended with lighter ones.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Keep in mind, RFK Jr. is 69. Make muscles great again. Of course there were comparisons to a shirtless Vladimir Putin. How long until RFK Jr. releases a video of himself riding a bear shirtless? Though the Putin bear riding is just a furry fake, if I have to see another image of RFK Jr. shirtless, I'm going to scoop out my eyes with a melon baller. President Pex may face a heavy lift running against Joe Biden, but he's already won the title of the 2024 race. Ginny Mose, CNN, New York.
I don't know about you, but I am impressed.
He's doing a great job. Doing a great job.
And so
He's
is
working
Jeannie
out.
Moose. Thank you so much for this package.
Jeannie
this morning.
Moose does
the story. The story just made my day.
I am very happy for you. Unfortunately, I have to unmake your day. Yeah, I know. But
well, it's going to be so hot you may want to take your shirt off, right?
No, nobody wants to see me without a shirt. That's for darn sure. But we do still have some scattered showers out there across the area. We're taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Again, these are going to be scattered to isolated, and they could persist into the early afternoon. But the great news is our severe threat, out of here, gone, done. And that's making way for this, our heat threat. Again, Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. We are looking at that heat advisory through Friday at 7. For the rest of southeast Kansas, back in the northeast Oklahoma, that heat advisory runs until 9 tonight. But again, probably will be reissued tomorrow. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Still got some clouds, and it looks like there might be a little more sunlight trying to get out from the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh. And there's that blue sky, and then the current conditions box covers it up, but there is some blue out there. We're sitting at 70 in Joplin. Temperatures around the area look about like this: 73 Nevada, 72 Lamar, Pittsburgh, Parsons. Warmer to the south: 76 Chatopa, Veneta, 75 in Miami, and 70 Neosho. We do have alert days for that dangerous heat. We'll talk more about that and have the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The family of a Parsons area murder victim says the Neosho County District Attorney should not prosecute the suspect due to a conflict of interest. Clint and Kimberly Nyberger were arrested on May 8th for the murder of Dakota Patton and are now awaiting trial. On Tuesday, Dakota's family spoke out about Neosho County DA Linus Thuston, who they say has no business leading this case. With the 4th of July around the corner, veterans who suffer from PTSD start getting anxious for the holiday. And that happens because as the nation celebrates its independence with fireworks, some veterans are triggered by the sights, smells, and sounds. On Tuesday, Joplin city officials gave residents details on a plan to build a new trail along Tin Cup Creek. The Tin Cup Trail will be a pedestrian and bike trail connecting the St. John's Trail to the trails in McIndoe Park along Shoal Creek.
And we've got ourselves our alert days today through Friday for dangerous heat. Highs today, 99, maybe even lower 100s under partly cloudy skies. And we're going to stay hot as we head into the evening as well under partly cloudy skies. Mild tonight, dropping back into the mid-70s. And then as we look ahead, again, alert days through Friday. Temperatures lower 100s out there. Heat index values could be as high as 110. A little relief on Saturday with some scattered pop-up storms. We could see pop-up storms on the 4th of July, but again, they're just pop-ups. Don't cancel your plans. Just be ready for a shower. Otherwise, hot mid to upper 90s next week.
Ryan Seacrest will replace Pat Sajak as the new host of Wheel of Fortune. The game show made the announcement on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about this, but it's all right, whatever. Sajak confirmed earlier this month that the show's 41st season, which will begin in September, would be his last. Now, Seacrest will take over in 2024, even though it should have been me. Whatever. He said in a statement he is humbled to be taking the helm after Sajak's legendary 4-decade-plus career.
Seacrest also mentioned one of his first jobs was hosting the Merv Griffin game show called Click 25 years ago. He thanked Sony Pictures Television for the opportunity to be Wheel of Fortune's new host.
And to be honest, I'm sure he'll do great at it.
What about Vanna?
She wants to stay as far as I know, at least so far, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So, well, we want to thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.